Louis Hoppy. Welcome to the 1998 Pepperfest Parade. It'll be down the street in a moment, but we have nearly 120 units today, and I think you'll enjoy the variety both of Queen candidates, but especially visiting royalty. There's nearly 20 floats and visiting royalty joining us. Doing the parade today are Ben Wopat and Bill Gilbert. Ben, take her away.
Well, we also have at least a half a dozen musical units, which certainly adds to the parade. You can't really get the flavor or the environment of the parade without music. So we're looking forward to seeing those units.
Got quite a crowd out. If they get a chance to show you up and down the street, there's not a spot to be had, especially in the shade.
Yes, you'll notice we have good sunshine today. It should be great for taking photos.
Sunny but nice temperatures. Leading the parade, of course, is one of the squad cars from the North Hudson Police. Yeah.
Stand up.
When they get here. As the flag gets here, everybody is going to be standing and saluting our national emblem.
I believe there are also plans to have a moment of silence
When you get a chance, can you ask those people
in remembrance of
to
servicemen
move
who have served
can't
their
see.
country.
Passing us is the VFW Post 2115 and American Legion Post 50, followed by Tanners Lake VFW Post 8217 and the Prescott Guard Civil War Unit. With the Prescott Guard Civil War Unit are a couple of young ladies, well, young and younger, dressed in typical garb of the 1860s.
Beautiful hoop skirts, but the lady with the umbrella has a very small umbrella for the
Smaller than yours, Ben.
Smaller than mine.
We have a momentary stop as the unit has reached the site of the local broadcast and the judges' stand.
You're on, Jim. This is a moment of silence that is being observed to honor veterans who have served their country.
I don't know if you can hear it being broadcast just about 100 feet down the street from us is the Bruce Springsteen recording of "I'm Proud to Be an American." Born in the USA. This is the concert length version, I think. Is that right?
Correct. Bruce Springsteen would be born in the USA.
Yes. Well, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
Tanners Lake, VFW Post, 8217 and Prescott Guard Civil War Unit.
Now we have our national anthem.
Presentation recorded by DFW Post 150, American Legion Post 50, English DFW Post. 82 gun, T, Prescott Guard Civil War Unit, and the Sanctuary 40 and 8. And the parade being led by Chief Rich Anson.
There we have a .21 gun salute. By the gentleman who served our country and defended it so faithfully in the world wars and other conflicts in Korea and Vietnam.
And we have approaching next the St. Croix County 40-8 unit, which has historically taken part in the North Hudson Pepperfest Parade. Very welcome addition. Bill, you gave me some history on the 48 unit. What exactly does that represent?
I remember as a kid in the parades over in Green Bay, many of these units, they represented the troops who had served in World War I. The 40 and 8 was 40 men and 8 horses, what could typically be transported in the cattle cars or railroad cars of the day over in France. And it was, I don't remember my French, but 40 hommes et 8 chevaux. Hommes being men and chevaux being horses.
Well, that certainly was a different type of war. I remember an old gentleman I talked to years ago whose service in World War I was taking care of the horses.
Right. The St. Croix County EMS has a couple of units here, the second one just passing our stand.
And that is followed immediately by the Hudson Fire Department, a volunteer fire department which has a very distinguished record and is a real asset to our community.
And important also to our protection behind them, the St. Joseph Fire Department, both of them volunteer units and many times helping each other on local fires.
Looks like it must be a big thrill to ride in a huge truck like that for a young person.
Hopefully we don't have a fire, or there'll be quite a few units pulling out of the parade to get there.
Huge vehicles and very well tended to, obviously.
I'm just amazed at the time and effort and dedication that the volunteer firemen put in, not just in terms of fires and training, but maintaining all the equipment. Tremendous job.
This is one of the newer units, the aerial truck, which was purchased a number of years ago and is very important in fighting fires that emerge in roofs. So you can get a good angle of spray from the top.
In yellow is the St. Joseph Fire Department unit. Fluorescent yellow.
Yes, and as St. Joseph continues to grow, I assume the fire department is going to have to continue to grow also.
In the 27 years we've been here, the equipment of both units has just gotten so much better. It used to be almost like the St. Paul Vulcans fire truck that we'll see shortly.
I don't know if they would appreciate the analogy being of St. Paul Vulcans. They serve quite different purposes.
Oh yes.
Always right behind.
This unit just passing is a pickup truck that carries water and other equipment to immediate service of fires, brush fires and the like, so they can be there instantly and douse them. A great problem out in the rural area.
And the St. Joseph's Fire Department is followed by Village President Len Meissen, President of the Village of North Hudson.
As well as Hudson Mayor Jack Bro. Meissen and Bro for who knows?
That's very appropriate because both villages do a lot of things cooperatively.
And our Grand Marshal, past Village President Wally and Bernie Gregerson,
and
both have spent decades working on the Pepperfest.
Primarily behind the scenes, they are very unselfish. And we have the good neighbors, Mark and Pam Zappa and their family, which includes Alex, Nick, and Christine. And Mark, being a good chap, throws us some candy. Mark's also a wonderful guy on our pepper eating team. He's always the lead man. It's a very difficult position. Psychologically difficult to take that first pepper.
Only the pepper eaters would know the challenge of that. I tried spaghetti eating once. I passed on the peppers. I enjoy them, but not a pound at a time.
Well, one hates to pass up a free meal, and anyone who participates gets a lovely pound of really robust flavor.
Now approaching us, slowly enjoying their last parade, is the Hudson Pepperfest float and the Pepperfest royalty. Ben, you know them well.
Yes, they are neighbors to all of us, and the King, Mike Gady, just a few blocks away, and the queen of this year's Pepper Festival is Queen Genevieve Princeton. They are joined by the princesses, the royal court, Holly Dom, Lauren Herman, and Terry Palenti.
And all of them are here. Gady seems to be having a good time.
That would be characteristic of Mike. I think they've had a wonderful season. I understand that they've won at least 7 or 8 awards in various floats and parades that they've entered in.
Well, it's certainly the best and most colorful float we've had over the years. There's been 2 or 3. This one has proven quite popular at so many other parades, and as a result, we have a tremendous number of royalty visiting back to us. Next.
Here we have our first tractor showing up.
I think this is the 1998 Pepperfest Royal Family. King's wife, Mary Kay Gady, the Queen's parents, Nestor Gonzalez and Karen Princeton Gonzalez, and the Princess's parents is Stan and Sue Daum, John and Marion Herman, and Dave and Susie Polenti.
One can certainly say that the families contribute equally, as do the royalty, because they have the same commitments every weekend to following the parade, setting up the float, taking it down, making sure that everyone's dress is right.
In the back
very
row,
much a family
in the back row in the middle is the Queen Mom that accompanies all the units. Becky Licksit and served year after year helping to guide the royal family and work with the parents. She puts in a tremendous amount of time. I see the Vulcans have already found Becky, as they have Susie and some of the other parents. With a sudden start, the units are off and going, and Ben?
Appropriately, following the royal family from 1998 is the 1997 royalty. And past royalty have typically been very involved in the continuing festivities of the Pepperfest. And this year we have with us the Pepperfest King, Don Barber. Queen is Karen Sorensen. The Prince, Kim Tritt, and Krista Wattoon, and Stacy Harrelson. It's a real pleasure to welcome back the 97 royalty.
A little more leisurely year for them, although probably all of them are away in colleges and the like. That year is so amazing how the girls grow and gain confidence and maturity. It always impresses me to see them a year later and meet them. It's like being away at college for a couple of years. Next, a real local celebrity from River Falls, Karen Bai, one of the 1998 Olympic gold medalists from the United States women's hockey team. And Karen has some connections with Hudson Hockey as well. Ben?
Yes, Karen has been an instructor at the clinics that we have run over the number of years, and she certainly is someone that the young girls in the program emulate very much.
And helped us start girls hockey in Hudson. Following Karen is the members of the 1998 Girls State Basketball Championship team, Class A.
That's been a wonderful story throughout the entire spring. They worked their way through the playoffs and went to Madison and showed themselves as the state's best girls basketball team. A wonderful occasion for the high school and for the entire community.
Then the infamous Balkan crew from the St. Paul Winter Carnival. I'm sure that that they want to greet you, Ben.
Thank you much.
The kiss too? No kiss? No kiss?
The princesses give the kisses, don't they?
Sorry we don't have any women to give you that kiss.
Oh, that's sorry.
Well,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Very much. Thanks for coming, gentlemen.
We have been awarded 1998 St. Paul Winter Carnival buttons.
And now, doing a little beach show here is the Hudson Alumni Band.
This is the first of our musical units, and as you can hear, they're making quite a sound. I certainly like that casual garb.
This is a thing that has grown over the last several years, and the kids are having a lot of fun with it.
Looks like they've been playing in Hawaii regularly.
Pretty good sound. Says something for our music department at the high school. We should be sure to have everybody take a chance, and when they're in dining, to thank the Log Cabin for allowing us to broadcast from here. They are closed this noon to facilitate our broadcast. All the electrical hookups and everything coming out of the Log Cabin, and we certainly would ask the viewers to express their thanks when they eat at the Log Cabin.
And we don't want to miss the fact they did provide our Coke.
Yes. Here we have the Hudson Area United Way and senior citizens passing, probably out of camera view now. And another little break. These perpetually plague all parades. I know there's some determined efforts being made this year to try and keep the units together, but for some reason never seems to happen.
And the next approaching unit is the mini Frisbee Golf, which probably is just in camera range now. The Frisbee Golf is becoming all the rage. I see that they're installed, of course, out at the Willow River State Park. And excellent opportunity for those who want to play a quick game of golf and have a bad slice. Maybe they'll be better off with a Frisbee.
Where the slice is built in on the Frisbee throwing, right?
I kind of think so, yeah. Probably more intentionally play a slice and a hook than you can with a golf ball.
Well, they're pretty acrobatic. I think that's beyond my ability there, at least for many of the past years. Willow River State Park, the double bogey disc team.
That's interesting. I wonder what a double bogey is.
I know oh too well what a double bogey is. I'm happy to settle for a single bogey. Now an interesting unit, the Odyssey of the Mind. A number of groups, a half dozen or more groups from the Hudson school system participate in Odyssey of the Mind in several different ways. Creativity, there's a building motorized, little tiny motorized units that can navigate a number of obstacles, as well as competition in the theatrical area.
And just ahead of the Odyssey of the Mind, we still have performances by the Frisbee team, a man and a woman. I don't know their names, but they certainly know how to handle a Frisbee.
Yeah. I know we've had teams that have gone to state and won. Constantly, the Odyssey of the Mind places first or second at the regional competitions in Eau Claire with several units. There's different age groups as well as the different categories.
That is a working float. That's one that's being powered by human legs and arms.
In the Odyssey program, the kids have to come up with the ideas and also do all the construction work. There are parents or other adults to guide them, but not plant the ideas, but guide them in the process of communicating and developing those things, but also guide them, of course, in using power equipment.
Following next, moving along the curb on the street across from us is Officer Bob Mumke and his police dog Zeus, who both have been very instrumental in a number of cases in the past year.
Including the search for the two robbery suspects in Somerset that ultimately ended up in one of the suspects shooting himself. But Zeus was used to protect the officers and go into the dangerous areas as part of that search.
And Zeus is also used in sniffing out drugs. He has been a powerful ally of the police in trying to curb illegal drug use.
And here's St. Croix County Sheriff Paul Birch and his wife.
That is a very colorful looking vehicle also.
That's part of their Color Act program on alcohol, drug, and violence awareness.
And Sheriff Birch is followed by the St. Croix County Republican Party, which incidentally is advertising Sheriff Birch for office.
Must be a connection.
You would think so. Got to believe that he's not running on the Democratic ticket.
And now we reach our first of many floats in royalty. This one from our sister city, New Richmond. The New Richmond Fun Fest just completed about a month ago. It's the second weekend in July. Ben, you want to introduce the royalty?
Yes, we do have on this float the Queen, which is Kathy Cavity. First princess is Jenna Tape. The second princess, Heather Kunkel. And the third princess, Michaela Ellibold. All from the city of New Richmond.
With the proverbial float wave. Sort of like you could get them working at a car wash. They got a great move for wiping the car down.
It takes you back to one of those early movies, the Kung Fu movies. Karate Kid, where
Karate
they're
Kid,
teaching
yeah.
how to use his hands by polishing and wiping.
And the New Richmond Middle School Band, the Marching Tigers. And New Richmond has a fine marching band program. You'd be amazed to think that this is not a high school band, but rather a middle school band.
It's always a pleasure to get a band in a parade. They're difficult to get because usually this is summer for them, and they need some time off also, and parade commitments take up a lot of that time. So a real sacrifice, and we appreciate the fact that they have made the effort to appear in our parade.
What a flag unit. 14 units of flags, 2 drum majorettes. Let's pause a moment and let the folks at home enjoy the sound of music.
Pass a good word on to the judges.
Yes. Oh, now a little softer melody. And we have a moment to enjoy it. The Anoka float is down the street a ways yet.
They're marching with a pause step now and performing, I would assume, for the judges. They are just about in front of the judges' stand, which is about 100 feet to our right.
Now the flags units are coming down each side of the Marching Tigers band, reforming at the rear. The orange, black, and white is very colorful.
And coming up next, behind the New Richmond Band, we will have the Anoka Halloween Festival. They also have been a regular participant in our parade. Unfortunately, we don't have the names of the royalty on our card, but we'll try to pass them on as the float moves by our stand. How are your eyes, Bill?
Pardon?
How are your eyes? You gonna be able to pick up these names?
Well, let's see. Miss Congeniality In the front is Denise Hartley. Princesses are Lisa Lloyd and Alicia Ayala. Don't know the other. And the queen, or Miss Anoka, Christine Weber. Anoka, Minnesota, Halloween capital of the world.
And this is a fine float which comes with music and with animation.
Or at least the Halloween capital of Anoka County. I think a couple of volunteer rollerbladers here. And then the Turtle Lake float and royalty. Again, we'll have to share the queens and princesses' names as they reach us.
And we have some little royalty on this float. We have Little Miss Turtle Lake, who appears to be Christy Madison, and the other name is partially obscured at the moment. We'll have it as soon as they come more into view. And the princesses are Anna Brown and Heather Peterson.
Queen of the Lakes and Snow is Danielle Carmen, and the princesses are Jill Neiman and Yvonne Raffsberger.
Very good. There was a little low in there, hard to pick up, Bill. You did a nice job.
Especially with the
decipher that through the fringe.
Queen of the Lakes and Snow, Turtle Lake, Wisconsin.
Our next float is a local politician and newspaper publisher, formerly, Jay Griggs, who is running for the state assembly this year. There's Jay's mom. I don't see Jay.
I don't see Jay.
Jay is probably following handing out literature or politics and shaking
Here are
hands.
the St. Croix County ambassadors, Melissa John and Heather Stevens. Some of the units are moved up a bit so they can make the Star Prairie Ox Cart days later today, so we may get caught off guard once in a while.
We have approaching now our first royalty candidate, which is Cassie Harmon, who is sponsored by Erickson's City Market, and her parents are Graham and Barb Harmon.
Following Cassie is Queen candidate Becky Petronic. Her parents are John and Janine Hoover, sponsored by First Federal Savings Bank, La Crosse, Madison. Becky Petronic.
And next, sitting on the beautiful red Corvette is next candidate Megan Benoit, whose parents are Bob and Diana Benoit, and she is sponsored by Lavender Times.
Following Megan, Queen candidate Carly Andrews. Carly's parents are Charles and Deborah Andrews. Her sponsor, North Hudson businessman Bob Bardill Dental Associates. You pronounce this Seguin.
And the last in our group of candidates here is Queen candidate Bretta Hines, who is sponsored by Mudge Porter Lundeen Seguin, and her parents are Gary and Jean Hines.
And then a banner for candidate for re-election to United States Senate, Russ Feingold.
Followed by a number of people handing out Mr. Feingold's, Senator Feingold's campaign literature. Senator Feingold, of course, has been very active for those who are politically inclined in the campaign to reform financing of elections.
Now we have a float and a number of people from Kinder Music of Hudson. Advertises itself as the premier music program for young children. And as you can see, they are truly very young children.
And this is a unit which is very unique. It's looks like a nice unstructured, everybody having fun, and all sorts of wheels, from wagons to trikes to baby carts.
Looks like they have a lot of parental involvement and very young children. I'm curious what whether it's playing instruments, singing, both.
It's like a brand new radio flyer wagon there.
And another float, the Roberts Royalty and float. Their Good Neighbor Days are the first weekend in June. The float carries Miss Roberts, Carrie Schaefer, and the princesses Heather Burton, Rachel Campbell, who is also Miss Congeniality, and Junior Miss Roberts, Jenna Ackley.
And that is followed by the St. Croix Valley Royalty, or as they referred to, the gateway to the Wild River, that being St. Croix River. And Miss St. Croix is Becky Anderson, and her court includes Krista McKenzie as first princess, Candace Best as second princess, and Cara Jensen is Miss Congeniality for the village of St. Croix. And they are just coming probably through your camera range now.
Kelsey Bradkey, Little Miss Boston Wing. Kristen Iverson, second princess, and Christy McCusick, the third princess, and Miss.
Next we're not quite there. Let's keep the focus on the St. Croix Falls Royalty for a moment. And next we have the Spring Valley Royalty, their celebration. This is the 1997 Royalty, of course, because their celebration is coming up September 18 to 20. They announced some of the Royalty are Miss Spring Valley Heather Hardy and her princesses Joanna Madsen and Katie Trainer.
Spring Valley is being followed by a number of representatives from the St. Paul Winter Carnival. We have some of the princes from the north, the east, the west, the south winds, as well as the dates for the upcoming Winter Carnival, which will be January 29th to February 7th, 1999. Always a grand event in St. Paul. And we have before us the Prince of the North Wind, Dick Kedrowski.
The Winter Carnival, back when we had the very first rejuvenated Pepper Festival in 1976, the Winter Carnival Royalty were kind enough to come over. We had a dinner for them, and they met all of our royalty candidates, had a great time. They ended up, they were supposed to go to Oxcart Days, and they skipped it because they were enjoying the Pepper Fest so much. Here we have Prince of the East Wind, Ron Gritzmaker, and Princess Debbie Cyberlick. Prince and Princess of the East Wind. Boy, we've got
that is followed by another unit, another representative from the St. Paul Winter Carnival. And this is going to be the Prince of the West Wind, Mike Stone, and Princess Catherine Davidson, the 1998 West Wind Princess and Prince. And they had a Wild West theme.
We have, I see, all four of the East, West, North, and South princes and princesses. This one is the Prince of the South Wind, Kevin Pythermus, and Princess Karen Johnson, South Wind.
And followed by that unit, we have the King Boreas himself, the 62nd King Boreas. His name is Phil Jungwirth, the Queen of the Snows, Danielle Radke, Prime Minister Jody Lingenfeld, and they are escorted by the 1998 King's Guard with a ton of buttons and braids.
Oh yes, now we have the Senior Royalty from the St. Paul Winter Carnival. Prime Minister Clyde Durand and Lady in Waiting Audrey Rouse. King Bill Johnson and Queen of the Northlands Margaret Mary Bannigan. King Winter, the
And they are followed probably by the best known feature of the Winter Carnival, that is the Vulcans and their infamous Vulcan wagon.
And those rascals are well ahead in the parade, greeting everybody. I know they're much more careful now about rubbing cheeks with the ladies. They give you a magic marker me, as both you and I have had. I don't know if a pretty gal can talk me into the old style anymore or not.
I think they could be talking to that, yes.
Some things get lost in the modern era and all the rules and regulations that apply.
It's an interesting unit. I see there are drumsticks dropping in the highlight. I don't know if that's part of the procedure or not.
I think this may be Kramer's Cracker Jack. They have no other information, but
They certainly live up to the name. That's a very entertaining unit. Stopping, playing, and throwing sticks into the air, catching them.
and now.
Followed.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben.
Followed by the float from Badlands Recreation, which is the snow tubing and boarding facility that is located out on Badlands Road, just to the east of Hudson.
Wrong season, but it sure looks like it'd be fun to be out in the snow right now, doesn't it?
That season will come very quickly, I'm sure. We have rapid changes in the weather in this area.
Seems as we age that the winters get longer and the summers get shorter with every passing year.
On a day like today, we can't complain, though. We have a gorgeous day for parade.
Here we have a publicist for Tom Belongia running for St. Croix County Sheriff. Tom Belongia.
Beautiful day like today, who wants to pick up snow from the Badlands snow tubing and snowboarding on Badlands Road? According to the Farmers Almanac, will be open.
Have to wait to see the game. Following Sheriff candidate Belongia, we have a float and our Queen candidate.
Oh, this is our junior miss of Wisconsin.
We're a little out of order here then, according to my schedule. This is the 1988 or 98-99 Junior Miss of Wisconsin. And she is being sponsored by Kristen
she is?
Casa de Calvo.
I think it is
That is her
Kristen
name.
Casa de Calvo.
It's not Casa de Playa? Nope. That is her name, Kristen Casa de Calvo, Little Miss Wisconsin.
Parents from the North Hudson Elementary School who work long and hard throughout the year and at the Pepper Festival, raising funds and doing many, many wonderful things for the kindergarten through fifth graders up there.
The music you hear approaching is Angelo's Calliope, and Angelo has joined us in the parade here for quite a number of years. Has a very unique unit, adds a sound that is very entertaining for a parade.
Pressing him hard from the back are the members of Cub Scout Pack 168, sponsored by the Hudson Rod and Gun Club. It's a pack that is the traditional one that many North Hudson young men enjoy. Next we have a truck carrying one of the baskets that we commonly see under the hot air balloons that dot the St. Croix Valley every evening. Advertising the Hot Air Affair, coming again the first weekend in February, this year February 5th through 7th, 1999.
Wow, you can feel that heat here.
It's warm.
That's something like 50,000 BTUs, as I recall. It'll get you up pretty quick.
Carol took a hot air balloon and enjoyed it. We tracked on the ground. That was as high as I wanted to get.
I gave my wife a present, one of her birthdays also, of a balloon ride, and I got to share in the bottle of wine at the end. That was the part I liked.
Here we have our 10th float and royalty so far from Rice Street. And see if we can. Oh, I'm sorry, this is
the
Woodville.
Woodville.
We must
Woodville
not have Rice
Sit
Street.
and Die.
Woodville, sit in de my, or as Tony Zappa says, spit in your eye. The queen is Indy Springborn. The princesses are Leah Jordahl, who was the princess and Miss Congeniality. Sponsored
Got a
by
bit
the
of a gap here
Woodville,
now.
sponsored by the Woodville Lions Club.
And I think that they historically are one of the first parades in the area, and our unit goes over there every year and always enjoys itself greatly. It's a good way to kick off the season for them.
Well, May 15 to 17, which of course is sitting to my, or some speculation that the Norwegians have to have the first festival so they know when it is. You know. Of course, my wife being half Norwegian has nothing to do with me leaning on the Norwegians.
That always helps.
And Mrs. Tony Zappa would be all over me.
Next we have the Rice Street Royalty.
Oh, we
Again,
just got
our
it
wonderful
backwards.
unit. Has music, we have animation, we have the Junior Princess Chad Daler, we have a Junior Princess Chimmelin Rouse, Senior King Warren Perquam, Senior Queen Fern Perquam, Princesses Brenna Danielson, Katie McCann, and the Queen Corey Redpenning.
It's quite an animated float. Pretty mechanical. Probably a candidate for winning one of the float awards in the beverage.
They celebrate themselves as the raspberry capital of Minnesota.
Next, we have the Prescott Royalty from Prescott Days, September 18 to 20. Miss Prescott, Alexis Marshall on top, and her princesses Riddell Kittleson and Beth Magnet.
Whoa, and here we come with some entertainment that we've all grown to love over the years. These are the Shriners, or Shriners unit with the little carts doing their intricate maneuvers. You always wonder why these guys don't run at each other. They practice for hours, I'm sure. These gentlemen represent the St. Croix group of Zor Shriners.
They certainly don't seem to be enjoying themselves too much, do they? What do they say? Some kids never grow up?
I think there are a lot of people jealous of them, however.
There they go. Well, they're traveling. Like an average age of about 64. Not quite that old, but
You'd think maybe we should have the EMT units of the fire department following these guys.
several of them, I'm sure, are retired. The Zor Roadrunners. Oh, back again.
I've seen these guys a lot of times, and I've never seen them run out of gas. I always wonder how long they can go before they can park it.
Well, not a very big engine. I would guess there's a lot of miles in a small tank of gas. This is the St. Croix Valley Shrine Club that puts this on, and the funds they raise from participating serve their purpose. Their slogan going by us is, "We ride so weak legs may walk." Their funds from the Zor St. Croix Valley Shrine Club Roadrunners fund programs for children needing handicapped assistance, medical treatment, and so on. The Shriners is a wonderful program.
That's a new twist. I haven't heard the horns before. Have I not been listening? Here's Brett Favre coming down along the curb handing out candy. And he's
Yeah.
become very popular.
He's changed sexes as well, too, it appears.
I'm not going to touch that one. There is a lot of candy being distributed by the folks that are accompanying this float.
This looks like Mary Suter in the Brett Favre outfit, loading up more candy to hand out. And of course, they are promoting their candidate for Miss North Hudson, our queen. Their candidate is Jennifer O'Meara, daughter of Patrick and Patricia O'Meara, and sponsored by Stars Tavern.
And Jennifer is being followed by the next queen candidate, which is Sarah Hoppy. And Sarah's parents are Greg and Lois Hoppy. And she's being sponsored by Northern States Power Company.
It's always a challenge for these units and their sponsors their candidates and the sponsors to find convertibles to ride in.
They did a lovely job here. We've got lots of beautiful convertibles in the parade, as is suiting for beautiful candidates.
Yes. This one probably didn't have as much trouble getting a convertible. It's candidate Becky Freer, sponsored by Randy Eiten Chevrolet. And of course, it's a Chevrolet convertible. I believe probably a Beretta. Becky's parents are Greg and Jessica Freer. Candidate Becky Freer. Becky's certainly enjoying herself.
We have about 5 candidates here in a row. So we see 5 wonderful vehicles and 5 lovely girls all competing for the spot on the Pepperfest royalty for the 1999 season. Our next candidate is Jody Swanson, and she's being sponsored by River Valley Abstract and Title Company. And her parents are Dewey and Beth Swanson, and her father Dewey is driving the vehicle.
And immediately behind her, candidate Jennifer Leverty, daughter of Patrick and Marilyn Leverty, and sponsored by Dave Holt Ford. Again, no difficulty finding a convertible there. Okay, I hope it's a Ford. Ah, it is.
And we have here a very unique float, a Case tractor, and the Pilot House coffee wagon.
This is Walter Weeks, who every morning until about 9 a.m. Is down with his Pilot House coffee, serving on 2nd Street outside the First National Bank. Walt and his wife Nancy live out east of North Hudson on Pratley Lane.
Looks like he picked up a hat in Hong Kong or Bangkok.
Yes.
Pepper Award, Queen Award, and King Award. They will be presented after the parade at Pepperfest Park.
Well, that was an added one there. We again want to take a moment, as long as we have a break here, to thank the Old Log Cabin for hosting our show and allowing us to bring you the North Hudson Pepperfest Parade live. And of course, we'll also be taped, and I'm sure Channel 10 will show it again down the line. All the mothers, grandmothers, aunts, and uncles of the Queen candidates will undoubtedly have a tape, and parents and many of the people in the bands and the floats and whatnot.
And following the candidates in the Pilot House, we have a float representing St. Croix Chiropractic, which is, of course, Dr. Mark Peterson. And they are located in the small mall in North Hudson.
And next, one of the units that has graced our parade for over 20 years now, and is both colorful and interesting in sound, the Brian Boru Irish Pipe Band.
Always a great crowd favorite.
Many people assume that bagpipes are unique to Scotland, but there's a lot of cross connection, and they are a popular Irish musical instrument as well.
Wonderful uniforms with the kilts and with the color guard. And the gentleman that's leading them has a bearskin cap. It must feel wonderful today.
In Scotland, at least, there's a tradition about the men wearing kilts. That means that they don't look forward to breezes when they're out in public.
You notice some of them also have the knife that is tucked away in the sock, the right sock, which is also a tradition.
One of the ways to tell the difference from the Scottish bagpipes is these are not plaid and are smaller.
Now we have the Hudson's Lions Club, which is following the Brian Boru Band. And they're also dispensing some candy to the people that are viewing the parade. And I might note that we do have a wonderful crowd here. The street is crowded on both sides.
It's a great morning for a parade, both to be in it and to watch it. Sometimes it's so hot that it's a little difficult for both spectators in the sun and marching units. Now Indian Head Glass handing out candy. Hopefully they don't throw it hard enough to break any of the glass along the way.
We have a
But
number
maybe
of,
they'll try.
we have a number of clowns along the way here who are dispensing candy. Oh my, there's a wipeout on rollerblades. Oh, here comes a scramble. I don't think they're helping him up.
The clown, when he fell, dropped some candy, and there's plenty of volunteers to help him pick it up.
We need some volunteers to pick up the clown though.
He seems to be doing well anyway.
Thank you,
Well,
thank
thank you. We got a lollipop from one of the clowns.
Put that right into there. Thank you.
One of the clowns got Wobad in trouble with his wife. This is the Ellsworth Funsters.
That was a very mild kiss, however, you know.
Sponsored by Blue Skies Pool and Spa across from Fleet Farm. The Ellsworth Funsters Clown Club. Entertaining.
How you doing, they're having just a great time.
How are
You're
you?
hungry?
Oh, thank you.
My children will love you.
Well, so much for my diabetes control today. My wife catches up with me, but she's going to confiscate all. We made a killing here.
I like them.
He's taking him back.
We have here the Blue Skies Pool and Spa, which is located up in the Hudson on the hill across from Fleet Farm.
Well, thank you.
And they're dispensing some beach balls that go just fine with the pool.
Wonderful. It's great when these people think we're judges. And here's a couple of, let's see now, these are the
It's supposed to be a hamburger man.
Sesame Street characters or what?
No idea.
Oh, that kid's going to get a kiss and a hug.
These are all part of the Blue Spa, or Blue Skies Pool and Spa, and they also, of course, are sponsoring one of the candidates.
And next we have the candidate for State Assembly, one of the two Republican candidates, Jay Griggs and the other. This is Kitty Rhodes.
Kitty, of course, is known to many people in Hudson, particularly in the business community, as she was with the Chamber of Commerce for a number of years.
Well, at least there's lots of people for Kitty. I don't see her here, but then I didn't see Jay Griggs either, so. But many people supporting her, handing out her literature. Well, we have
float here. Looks like a baby carriage, but no babies in it. Looking for customers.
And we have our 13th float in royalty, Miss Red Wing. Their festival is the first weekend in August, River City Days, occurring a couple weeks or a week or so before the Pepper Festival. Miss Red Wing is Sarah Walter. Her princesses are Tessa Anderson and Jenny Johnson.
And that's a beautiful float for today. It's the red and the white and green really stand out, and those are the colors, of course, for Pepperfest.
And their slogan is, "Let us take you under our wing."
Hi, Katie, good luck. Welcome to the Pepper Festival.
And they are followed by the float from the city of Centuria. Actually, it's the village of Centuria. And we have on the Centuria float the first Princess Beth Johnson, Miss Congeniality Melissa Vitalis, Princess Amanda Aherns, Princess Tony Montpettit, Little Miss is Johanna Allen, and the other little princess is Kaylin Turner. Representatives from Centuria, which is Centuria Memory Days.
Well, I can't see the name yet at the angle we're at, but I think this would be the royalty coming from Cumberland. A lot of connections between Cumberland and North Hudson.
I think that
Italian community.
the license plate there will tell you something about that. That you are exactly
Bega
right.
one,
Bega
the
one.
Rutabaga Festival. And they also traditionally put a team or two down in the pepper eating contest.
Yes, they've been strong rivals over the years.
Miss Cumberland and one of her princesses, Miss Cumberland, is Melissa Perkins. The two princesses, and the princess is Elizabeth Nippon.
Melissa, I believe.
Nick
Perkins.
And Cumberland Mary.
Very difficult to see. There's an unusual float where the vehicle, the El Dorado that's pulling it, is longer than the float.
The Rutabaga Festival. I think that comes up in the fall in September, doesn't it?
Yes, in about 2 weeks. And we have a candidate here. The political candidate is for state senator is Alice Clausing,
And
who
that's-
is the current incumbent.
And that's Alice herself. Riding
Has
a bike
a
and a
very
dog.
peaceful passenger along with her. The little dog in the basket seems to be very content to be in a parade. I wonder if that's his first parade. His or hers.
I suspect he's been through a few. And now the interstate band, slightly older folks, keeping their musical talents polished and alive and on display for all of us to enjoy.
The Interstate Band has also been with us a number of years and always provides a new dimension. They play some music that we often don't hear in parades.
Interstate Band.
Following, we have the float from Cambridge. Beautiful float from our sister city, which is has on it Princesses Amy Olson and the Princess, Little Miss Cambridge is Kelsey Shooter, and Miss Cambridge herself is Summer Nelson.
Cambridge on the banks of the Rum River. Here is the Northwest Wisconsin Honey Queen, I think. And this is the St. Croix County Fairest of the Fair, Erin Johnston. Our program says Northwest Wisconsin Honey Queen, so we're not sure if we're giving you the right information, but certainly it's Erin Johnston without question.
And they are followed by the unit from Spirit in the Park.
Sponsored by Freedom Value Center.
And dispensing some suds along the way, bubbles. And one gentleman is apparently a sergeant at arms. He's carrying a weapon there, a large water gun.
Doing all the bubbles is Mary Olson. Now I forget her married name, but Mary is, a number of years back, Miss Hudson. I think this is still part of the Spirit.
Your name, oh Lord, we magnify your name, Prince of Peace, mighty God, oh Lord God Almighty.
Unfortunately, we don't have the names of the singers that are on that particular float, but they're entertaining the crowd as they move down the street.
Oh, one in the middle, I think, is Adele Dolan, but it's apparently a specializing in religious music. Coming up now, we have the Amory Royalty for 97-98 on the Amory Float, celebrating their fall festival September 17 to 20. Amory, City of the Lakes. The princesses on the float are Lindsay Hines, Kelly Madsen. The third princess is Noel Crea, who is also Miss Congeniality. And the fourth princess, Kelly Holmes. Miss Amory, near the back, is Heather Hecht.
And they have that well-practiced wave.
Yes.
turn left,
Boy, they're even
turn
coordinated.
right, turn left, turn right. It's like a military unit. We have coming up next the Powder Puff Clown Club, and they're working the street, both sides of the street, handing out some candy and entertaining the children. Here's a fisherman here that doesn't look like he got that down Lake Mallow. It's a very colorful fish, but it's not a carp.
We have something I just received and I might pass on to you. The Spirit in the Park is Contemporary Christian Music Festival that will be Saturday, September 19th at Lakefront Park in Hudson. Saturday, September 19th.
We have a clown here that's no fool. She's carrying a large umbrella that's shading her for the parade.
This is what, the Powder Puff Clown Club. I think they've been with us since the first festival parade back in '76, the Revive Festival.
And one of the clowns is carrying a paintbrush, and the other one a roller, and they're putting a few strokes on people sitting in the crowd. And the fisherman, of course, is a Packer fan, obviously. The hardest working clown in the parade, carrying along a little dust broom and dustpan.
I mentioned the Revive Pepper Festival in '76. Pepper Festival, of course, goes back to 1954 when the people of North Hudson started raising money to build the new school. And ran 7 or 8 Pepper Festivals up through '61. Got enough built the school and then didn't run them from '61 until the JCs revived it in '75 and it became a 3-day festival again in '76.
Following the clowns, we have some of our youngest citizens. They are the Rolling Hills 4-H Club, and they have also been regular participants in our parade. They're all armed and look dangerous, but probably some people appreciate the little water they're spraying.
Yes. And 4-H is a great program for kids, either farm-oriented or just living in the rural area or cities or villages for that matter.
We have a dog unit coming up, Bill. Did some gentleman speak to you earlier that these must come in a little early?
Yes, I think this was later in the program because they have to get to the Star Prairie Parade. It's the St. Croix 4-H Dog and Drill Team. And of course, following the Rolling Hills 4-H Club, they are associated.
And this unit has stopped for a moment. It looks like they may be preparing to put on a little demonstration.
They're demonstrating they can get the dogs to stop. That's more than I can do with ours.
Well, some of them are sitting and some of them are standing. They're not all uniform. Oh, they're giving the dogs some water. Obviously, the pavement's pretty hot for a dog today.
It is a little challenging for their feet. If you and I were walking barefoot down the street on a hot day, we'd probably appreciate getting off in the grass.
A little tiptoeing.
Set up for recall!
Well, they're going to a demonstration here. They leave their dogs, tell them to stay.
And the dogs are all wearing collars, green and white, with St. Croix County
One broke ranks.
globe.
Maybe just wanted to get a lead there. Oh,
I think they're doing that intentionally. They're being ordered to move and to stop.
now they're being told to lay down on the pavement, and he's not excited about doing that.
Just a reminder that folks are getting the food ready right now, and actually we can probably open some hot bagels, some Italian sausage, some pizza, some pasta, some beverage beer. We have some Ronald Pepper beer also that we are trying this year. That's located next to the pepper, or next to the beer wagon.
Again, I think the folks are thinking we are perhaps the judges. We get some good shows for the public at home to enjoy. Well, next we have the Wild River Yacht Club. We obviously enjoy boating, pleasure of the water in the St. Croix Valley. Sponsored by St. Croix Marine Service.
And they are handing out tons of candy also. Very colorful, silver and red.
Oh, look at all the treats
Oh,
you
thank
guys
you,
got.
thank you. It is a nice boat with a 225 horse engine on it. That'll move.
Here we have the Boyceville Royalty and Float. And they were a last minute entrant to the parade. Their festival is August 21 to 23 next weekend. The Queen is Amanda Fetting, Princess Serene Nelson, Heidi Headland, Junior Miss Boyceville Megan Schlupp, and Junior Princesses Stephanie Retz and Carmen Muse. Boyceville, Wisconsin.
Here we have our first unit approaching that is pulled by a decorated vehicle, completely covered with only slits for intake for the radiator and for the driver to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boyceville, the Boyceville Royalty, their festival will take place on the 3rd of August. Amanda Fetting, the Queen. Serene Nelson, Princess. Heidi Headland, Princess.
Yeah, that's it. And this float is from the city of Durand, and we have on royalties is Princesses Paula Ward and Tiffany Winter, and the Queen or Miss Durand is Christina Bauer. A lovely float coming to us from the city of Durand. And they traditionally have their festival in the first or second weekend in June. So it's one of the earlier parades in the area.
Boy, the floats are getting spectacular, aren't they?
Yes, they are. It's quite a change from a few years ago.
The Ellsworth Royalty and their float, their 15th annual Snowfest, is coming up next February. The Snowfest Royalty are Princesses Crystal Peterson, Katie Toner, and Miss Ellsworth, slightly elevated and behind the princesses, is Amanda Adrian. Ellsworth Snowfest.
And next following is the City of Glenwood float from western St. Croix County. And their celebration is held in September 8th to the 13th. And the Glenwood City Royalty, our Bridget Hill is Miss Glenwood, sitting on the top tier of this float. And just below her are Princesses Laura Reba and Nicole Selt, or it could be Kelt.
Welcome to the Pepper Festival in Ellsworth. It's the Snowfest Royalty for the 15th annual Snowfest.
And now, approaching us is the 22nd float and royalty in the parade. This one's from Hammond Lions Club, celebrating Hammond Heartland Days, which is traditionally the second weekend in August. This year it was August 6th through 9, last weekend, of course. Heartland Days. I'm not sure which princess is here, but their princesses are Michaeline Gillis, or Anne Gillis as she's known, and Michelle Rivard. The Miss Hammond and also Miss Congeniality is Sarah Zawald. Hammond Heartland Days. Well, they didn't bring the bison, but the next float is the Silver Bison Ranch and Shop. It's in Baldwin. It's a unique shop and hay rides, and they also sell bison meat. What we know as buffalo, but the American bison. I think I noticed some of the kids, Ben, come down with bags or ice cream pails to put the candy in.
It looks like they're having a banner day today. There's been a lot of candy that's been distributed.
I'm still eating that lollipop we got.
And next we have a commercial float entry, which is the Hudson Fairfield Inn, which is up on the hill in Hudson. And they again are distributing candy to the many children that are lining the parade route. The curbs are absolutely jammed and they're 5 or 6 deep behind them. Following is the next Queen candidate, which is Melinda Gullickson. And Melinda is sponsored by RJ's Meat and Groceries, and her parents are Scott and Melanie Gullickson.
And Queen candidate Jamie Jo Page. Parents are John and Peggy Page. Her sponsor is Berard Portrait Design. Jamie Jo Page.
And she is the honored to ride in a vehicle. It's very difficult to find, a Viper. There are very few Vipers made, and that's a gorgeous vehicle. And Jamie's parents, of course, are John and Peggy Page. Our next candidate is Cassie Holland. And Cassie is sponsored by Mid-America Bank, and her parents are Tom and Charlene Holland.
Tom, of course, is the executive director of the St. Croix Valley YMCA, which is about to expand dramatically. Only built a few years ago, and they already have more to do.
Obviously provided very successful leadership in a facility that is really enjoyed by everyone in the community.
You bet. Now approaching us is Queen candidate Diana Post. Her parents are Peter and Mary Post. She's sponsored by Blue Skies Pool and Spa, which had some other things in the parade a little bit earlier.
They did
Diana?
a major distribution of candy.
Diana Post.
And following Miss Post, we have the St. Croix Valley YMCA. As the banner says, we build strong kids, strong families, and strong communities.
1999.
And they have a couple of rollerbladers with them that are handing out some materials, flyers, I'm sure, information.
And the three rollerbladers are, of course, celebrating their new royalty park that they opened with rollerblading and other outside activities that was done with leadership from the Rotary clubs in Hudson.
Building strong kids, strong families, and strong
I
communities.
think this may also be part of the YMCA demonstration.
I believe these are represent the song YMCA.
The village people, the
Yes.
village people. YMCA.
You're getting a little help there from the gentleman with the microphone. They are followed by some more rollerbladers representing the Hudson Hockey Association, which this year is celebrating its 25th anniversary as a youth hockey sponsor. And they also are distributing some literature advertising the program that they provide for the youth in the community.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Including ice. Well, I think coming up is a mini float sponsored by Shoney's Restaurant in Hudson. A John Deere, well, pretty good sized garden tractor. And float with hay and who we got there? Kind of a bear, Ben?
It looks like a huge teddy bear sitting in a lounge chair. I believe it says Honey Bear on there, or Shoney Bear. I bet it's Shoney Bear.
Of course. And a Great Dane. Well, Again, more floats. This would be our 23rd. It's the Clear Lake Civic and Commerce Royalty. The princesses are Mercedes Koenig, Carissa Drinkman, and Renee Hallman. And we're not sure which one's there. The queen is Miss Clear Lake Heidi Swainpole.
And following Clear Lake is the Baldwin Royalty. The windmill that you see on this float is preceded by 4 young ladies, Miss Baldwin being Sarah Vandenberg. First princess is Brittany Breeze. Second princess is Rochelle Dumond. And Miss Congeniality is Amy Larson.
Looks like they're all there. Next, we have the Osceola Royalty. Their community fair is September 11 to 13. Their royalty are Miss Osceola, Teresa Steffen. First Princess, Beely Byström, I think it says. Erin Gregory, Second Princess, and Courtney Kane, Miss Congeniality.
Quite the noses on these young ladies.
Becky Byström, yes. They're having fun. Nearing the end of their reign as well.
And following is the St. Francis Royalty, St. Francis, Minnesota, which celebrates Pioneer Days on June 13th. And Miss St. Francis is Lisa DeVelt, and Princess is Cassie Norgard, and Miss Congeniality is Nicole Dennis. Pioneer Days in the Park coming to you from St. Francis, Minnesota.
We also have the River Falls Royalty on their float. Miss River Falls is Randy Dahl. First Princess Noel Meyer. Second Princess Stephanie Leonard. And Miss Congeniality Randy Dahl, who of course is the queen of River Falls. Well, we have a break.
We have quite a break for, I believe it's a band.
Chance for our camera crew to perhaps share with you a little bit of the huge number of people up and down the street that are here enjoying the parade. Again, it's I think perhaps the best day I've seen in years because the temperature is mild, sunny,
Humidity is low.
It's wonderful. I suppose we should advertise River Falls Day, July 16 to 19.
Well, they are going to be followed by the River Falls Band, which is the unit that is approaching from our north. We have a lot of children here today, I see, and as far as the eye can see, both north and south, they're hustled up the curbside and counting their candy. I think they're doing a little comparison on who got the best of the handouts.
They won't have to go to Halloween, will they?
No.
Here come the Marching Wildcats, River Falls High School Band, and they are an outstanding unit. Hudson, of course, has an excellent marching band, and many times these two units are head-to-head in close competition all over western Wisconsin and Minnesota in many parades and other marching band competitions. It's kind of interesting that the two schools so close, and of course New Richmond has a great program as well.
They have a large unit that precedes them, the color guard, and the rifle group, gun club, which is putting on a demonstration before us as they pass, followed by the flag section of the band. This is quite a large unit, and they're going to be nice to listen to as they come by. Everyone gets an opportunity to hear the band.
Nice lightweight uniform, attractive colors.
Short sleeves and long gloves.
Now we get a little different action out of the flags unit.
They switch places from being in front of the band to following up the band.
This is
They certainly add a lot of color and action to the musical.
they do. And this is a support group. As in Hudson, the band parents do so many things, both in terms of raising funds, but also going with the marching bands to all the parades, carrying water and gear along the sides. On a hot day, it's grueling out there, and there'll be a half dozen people carrying water, helping.
And of course,
parade.
participation in the band is a great event. It's not only are you learning music and providing music, but you're learning discipline and working as a team. It's really a family organization. As you mentioned, parents are a very important part of the support for the band.
Yes. Well, we have the band is performing down near the judges, so we'll have a little pause here as the parade resumes.
That's as far as the largest band unit that we have seen in the parade.
So far.
So far.
Hudson's still to come.
Still to come.
Here we have folks working for the candidacy of James Johnson, who is running for a state assembly. That's, I think, our third candidate for state assembly that's had people in the parade so far. It's a great chance for them to go meet. And in fact, James Johnson is here in the certainly a patriotic shirt, going from
6 o'clock.
each side of the street greeting people.
Yes, thank you.
It's interesting that all three candidates for state assembly are from Hudson. This is, I think, Mr. Johnson's wife and a couple of kids and a friend. Well, they're upcoming politicians out greeting people themselves.
Well, it's very nice, Mr. Johnson, to appear in person, as did Senator Clausen.
Yes.
Of course, he couldn't have asked for a better day to get out and meet people.
Well, here is a old-time convertible from SSG Corporation, which of course has the auto stop gasoline stations all over the region.
67 Cadillac.
1967 Cadillac.
Our cameraman is obviously a auto aficionado.
Probably gets between 3 and 4 miles to the gallon.
Are you suggesting that only an Arab prince could afford to drive that vehicle these days?
That's how I felt when I was growing up. Still do. But of course it represents the line of cars that you and I saw as
Kind of miss those big old winged vehicles that used to come out from the Chrysler Corporation particularly.
when big meant big, didn't it?
Of course, we don't have DeSotos anymore.
Right.
Quite a vehicle.
Well, here we've got the First National Bank with a musical float.
I believe this is the Carolyn's Sterling Silver Baton Twirlers. They're putting a little performance up on the street just north of us. The vehicle here that's preceding them is providing the music. Two little banner carriers have on their sign the Ultimate Talent Connection. The Sterling Silver Baton Club. The lady that's accompanying this unit is carrying a water gun that looks like it must be 21st century technology.
Better they're going to perform for you. You've come a long way all the way from Superior, Wisconsin to perform for you tonight.
Well, maybe we didn't have the First National Bank. I think that's the.
I think the First National Bank must be somewhere later. We you haven't missed it yet.
This is.
First National Bank is following this unit, as a matter of fact. with a big
I think you're
balloon.
right. I think you're right.
Street.
So this is Carolyn Sterling Silver Baton.
Yes, it is. I believe that they mentioned they were from Superior, Wisconsin.
New to the parade, I think.
Yes, it certainly is. I have not seen them before. There look to be about 25 or 30 participants in this particular unit.
One doesn't see the baton twirling like they used to have 30, 40 years ago. Kind of fun to see kids maybe bringing it back.
A lot of difference here in size from
This must be the young unit following.
teenagers down to single digits, I'm sure.
Yep. A couple out there that can't be much more than 4 or 5.
Well, they're trailed by 3 pom-pom girls, bringing up the rear of this unit.
Yeah, you're right, Ben. Here's the First National Bank balloon.
Dispensing, guess what else? More candy.
Not candy. Oh, of course. Makes a hit with all the kids, and some of those kids seem a little bit tall and heavily shaven.
Yeah, I think
They seem to
they're,
be enjoying it too.
they must know people in the second and third row because they're lofting the candy over the tops of those sitting on the curbs. Giving a chance
Favoritism.
for those who haven't rushed the street on the previous occasions to
Blatant
piece of candy.
favoritism. And the balloon from First National advertising their internet banking. Certainly a growing popularity with the internet. Bank from home in an instant now. I think First National now has 5 or 6 locations in Minnesota and Wisconsin.
The Minnesota Connection is over in Woodbury fairly recently.
And Baldwin, Hammond, Ellsworth, and one more, and
And
Besides Hudson?
looks like we have the bank's chief executive officer, President Ken Heiser, and he's being accompanied by the First National Bank Eagle. They're working the sidelines on the east side of the street. Ken, are we reducing interest rates today? Ken's
so
dispensing caramels. I'm afraid if we had one of those, we wouldn't be announcing here for a while.
I would be a little gummy and trying to sing one
Sing
way.
that one for a while.
Well, coming up now is the Willow River Bicycle Club, I think. No, we have a different.
This is St. Croix Pet Supply.
That's got to be in addition to the.
They've slipped into our parade here without our being aware of it, but they're certainly welcome. St. Croix Feed and Pet Supply, which is located up on the hill in North Hudson, or in Hudson, across from the Wheat Farm.
Right next to the. No, you're right. Pet Pajama Party Days, Friday and Saturday, August 28th and 29th.
That's coming up here in about 2 weeks.
Some kind of a pet costume contest. Just come and have lunch and play. August 29th, 11 to 2 p.m. Pet games at 11:30, and at 12:30 a magic show. So something
They are
for kids.
dispensing packets of seed or feed, it looks like,
Probably for
with directions on them stapled to them.
birds, because I know I buy some bird seed up there, different kinds.
And we have following the candidate Emily Hollister, who is being sponsored by Family Barbers, and her parents her mother is Eva K. Hollister. Family Barbers being the sponsor for Emily.
The next candidate is Rebecca Kell. Her parents are Dave and Claudia Kell. They live on Riverside Drive in North Hudson. She's sponsored by Etc., being driven by her father and with a car, a 1965 Mustang. I think it's 65, but that era owned by their neighbors.
Pretty laid back, pretty casual with that vehicle.
John and Grace Laux own that car, and it's a beauty.
And the next candidate that follows is Queen candidate Tanya Nelson. Tanya is sponsored by Village Inn of North Hudson, who is a longtime participant in our festivities. And her parents are Mike and Joe Ellen Steele. It's candidate Tanya Nelson.
Rebecca Kell. Sponsored by Etc.
We have next candidate Sasha Welly. Sasha is being sponsored by the First National Bank, which went by us just a few minutes ago. And her parents are Tim and Susan Hebert. Candidate Sasha Welly.
The next Queen candidate is Brianna Grzybowski. We hope we're pronouncing that right. Could be Grybowski, but I think it's Grzybowski. Parents David and Daisy Grzybowski, and sponsored by Audio Video Planners. Driving the car is Angie Felrath with her son Cody. Angie is a 1988 Pepperfest princess.
And our next, and actually last candidate for Queen is Tanya Trost. And Tanya is being sponsored by Arrow Building Center, and her parents are Randy and Kenya Trost. And Tanya lives just down the block from our house. We see her in the neighborhood frequently, a beautiful girl.
We're back to a couple of floats. This one, of course, from our sister city, Hudson. It's always a spectacular float. The Hudson Belle. A lot of work went into constructing the replica of one of the riverboats.
Constructing and reconstructing, I believe that was built several times.
This is the Hudson Belle 2. And on it are Queen Peggy Swersick, Princesses Reagan Riddle, Amy Grossnickel, and Nikki Beavers. Miss Hudson Royalty.
Behind the Hudson float, we have a fire department vehicle from Woodville. Woodbury, excuse me, from Woodbury, and that's not on our agenda, but who's going to argue with a vehicle that size?
And I think this is the Woodbury Royalty.
Oh, it is. So it is.
Queen is Miss Woodbury, Jennifer Morgan. Princess is Jessica Carpenter and Dana Reski.
And coming down the street, of course, is the local band, the Hudson High School Marching Band. And I'm sure we're going to hear from them here in just a minute or so. You'll be able to pick up the sound of the Hudson Marching Band.
I haven't kept track of the marching bands. I guess there was what, 1, 2, 3 or 4, counting Hudson? Generally they come to our parades because our marching band from high school goes to theirs. Kids have a lot of fun in the marching band. I think we're going to get a little song.
Splendid uniforms here, white and blue, sparkling.
Director Chris Payne. Maneuvering with their instruments. They certainly did. A nice job. Obviously, have practiced a good deal. The Hudson High School Marching Band.
Well appreciated by the audience.
Again, the parent support group that backs them, including working in the North Hudson Pepper Festival, don't they?
Yes, they do.
A number of groups participate in the Pepper Festival, making it possible to put it on, and are part of the groups that are funded in part by the proceeds from the Pepper Festival. To me, we've got the Parents Club from North Hudson School, the
Soccer Association,
marching band, soccer, hockey,
Association.
JCs.
There's a lot of different groups that put on a festival. It really gives it its true community spirit.
And would not be possible without those volunteers.
Absolutely not.
And then the other proceeds also go to fund smaller groups in the community that do not have the personnel to help that way, but have tremendous service to the community, Turning Point, and many, many other charitable
Shouldn't miss the Boy Scouts do the cleanup, which is
That's
a major
correct.
job.
That's right.
Here we have the Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days. Junior Princess Kirsten Melter, Junior Queen Jessica Amy, Ms. Robbinsdale Jennifer Erickson, and the Princesses Erin Rush and Karen Deck, coming to us from the city of Robbinsdale, Minnesota.
That was our 30th float in royalty, not counting some floats that are
You're a real
advertising businesses and
You're a real
stuff.
numbers man, Bill. I didn't write
Well,
all those down.
I'm amazed. I've never seen a parade with this many visiting royalty.
Well, and such high quality floats too. They're really having some wonderful units.
What it really says is how much fun the Pepper Festival is, because these royalty have obviously made a point of coming here to enjoy the.
And what an excellent job whoever's in charge of the parade this year, and I'm sorry I don't have that name, but that's a massive job trying to get all of these units committed for your festival.
Wanda, is it Wanda? I'm forgetting her last name. I think is at least one of the people organizing it. This is the St. Louis Park, Minnesota Parktacular royalty. We're going to have to read them quick off the side. The Junior Queen is Tori Ellenson. The Junior Commodore, Christian Freeman. The Princess Bailey Abetscara. Vice Commodore Zach Johnson. Senior Queen Yvonne Turner. Senior Commodore Eldon Blixrud. Katie Anderson is the princess, and the St. Louis Park Princess and Miss Congeniality, Tanya Jones, and Miss St. Louis Park, Nina Humphrey.
That was real short. That's a long float, and there are a lot of people, a lot of names on that one. Very well done, Bill. This is followed by the Payne Arcade Harvest Festival. Actually, we have slipped in here another musical unit, the Calliope. Caliola, it is called. 1984 Caliola. Adding its distinctive sound to our parade. Somewhere I missed the Payne Arcade. Hopefully it'll show up later.
We'll see if they show up. I wonder if that might be Tom's Mechanical Music. Obviously, this is Zapper Brothers with a lot of employees and family members and their kids riding the backhoe and trailer, having a good time.
Zap has, of course, been synonymous with Pepper Festival for years. They have been strong and loyal supporters, participants in literally every activity associated with the Pepper Festival.
This is the Aero Building Center delivery truck coming that brings products out to the building site.
Hey, is that heavy metal? That is heavy metal. That is heavy metal.
I wonder if the Calliope down there wasn't Tom's Mechanical Music. I suspect it probably
I
was.
suspect so. Well, that's interesting. Indicating the side of the float or the truck from the Air Welding Center that the treated lumber now no longer contains arsenic. Apparently much more environmentally friendly and less dangerous.
And the ABC Building Center is followed by a float from the St. Croix 4-H Dog Drill Team.
No. This would
Oh,
be
this- excuse me.
This is Turning Point.
Turning Point. My, I have to check my
Remember the
agenda.
dog and drill team
They
ended up
came early. They
Yeah.
came early.
So
Those
this
doggies
is
are
Turning
cool
Point,
feet, man.
helping battered women and whatnot to find safety and
One
support.
of the new commercial establishments in North Hudson is coming up next. That's the Riverbank of North Hudson. And they're advertising a Moola Moola, the savings club for kids. So if you want your kids to save, maybe Moola Moola Club is the way to do it.
Handing out Tootsie Rolls, right and left. Didn't give us any though, did he? Gee, my favorite. Tires Plus, again another unit that we were not aware of, with a race car.
And they are followed by another unit with a race car. This is a race car that is sponsored obviously by Don's Repair of Hudson, among other places. That appears to be the local sponsor. These look like the sort of vehicles that typically race at Star Prairie.
Yes.
At Cedar Speedway. Cedar Lake Speedway to be more exact.
And undoubtedly acquiring their tires from Tires Plus.
This guy looks like he's been in a demolition derby.
Looks like they've removed all the hardware, welded the doors shut.
Oh, we're getting a little water spray here. And this is another racing vehicle for us. And I'm not sure if all the units are associated with Tires Plus or not, but the vehicle pulling it appears to be from St. Croix Speedway.
Well, Walt Weeks has sneaked around and come back through again, getting all the advertising he can apparently. He's got a good coffee.
Maybe selling this time around. Stop and dispense a little coffee if you want it. Maybe iced coffee would be the ticket for today.
I think we are nearing the end. This ought to be the
We
remainder
see
of
some
the...
trucks up to the north of us yet. I'm not quite sure where those are coming from. Looks like a fire truck. Maybe they're making the last pass through to get rid of all the candy they may have left.
Well, this I think is the Freedom, the Erickson Oil Products. Antique isn't the right word, but the older fire truck that they acquired after it was retired.
Yes, you are right. That is the Erickson unit.
Our prices are so hot, we bought our own fire truck. The Village of North Hudson truck driven by Village Street Superintendent, Public Works Supervisor, Mark Ekblad.
And I believe that is absolutely the end of the parade. That looks to be the last official unit in the parade.
We've had, by rough count, 121 units. A dozen that we didn't anticipate, and only one that we lost
surprises
along the way.
and the only one we missed, I think, was the Payne Arcade Harvest Festival.
Yes,
It's kind of
31,
unusual since they've been here many
31
years.
sets of royalty. Well, it's been a great parade. I hope you enjoyed it, and that you come down and enjoy the Pepper Festival going on today and tomorrow, finishing what, at midnight?
On
Sunday night?
Yes, and of course the band every night. The band has changed for tonight. I believe it was the Fun Spots. They have been erased and replaced by the originals, who I believe are the old White Sidewalls, who are very familiar to fans in the Hudson area.
When is the pepper eating and spaghetti eating tonight,
Pepper
Ben?
eating is at 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and the spaghetti eating is just before that. I believe the time for the spaghetti eating is from 4 to 5:30, and before that, of course, will be the royalty spaghetti eating contest from 3 to 4, and that's always quite an event to watch the candidates in the royalty eat spaghetti. There's some real surprises there. They can really mow down that spaghetti.
And tomorrow night would be the coronation, starting at 3:30, going to 5:30, crowning the 1998 royalty. and that's always extremely popular.
And for all the kids, of course, the fishing contest continues all day out of Lake Malibu, and I'm certain the residents now they would like some of those fish removed, some of the less desirable ones, and entered up here in the contest.
And throughout, we've got bingo off and on, run by the Hudson Hockey Association, and the beer garden and food booth with all those wonderful Italian foods.
Right, bingo today is going to be from 1 to 5 p.m., and from tomorrow it'll be from noon to 3.
Again, we
Opportunity to make some money.
We thank Pepperfest for putting on the parade, Old Log Cabin for hosting us, and of course Channel 10, the community access station here in Hudson River Falls, for broadcasting this live and in tape in the future.
Sincere thank you to all of you.
Thank you. What are they doing? On Channel 11? We're out of here.